Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and welcome to the first episode of Adronis Top 3 Weekly. So we're going to go ahead and get started, as Adronis is going to come through here shortly, and he'll be providing some insight for the questions for this week. So we're going to move on to question number 1. Can you explain how DNA or light activations work, and how we can feel them when they happen? As it relates to your first question, pertaining to that of DNA and light activation, and how you may notice that they are happening. Well, DNA activation in that sense comes through light. It comes through sound. So your own sun is calibrating you constantly for a set of instructions that interact and transmute together with your DNA. As we have talked about, that your sun exists as a fourth density star. This is how the transition from it being a yellow star into a white star has shifted itself into that particular form of platform, representing that of fourth density. Therefore, when you step outside and you are immersed in sunlight, you are receiving activation. Your DNA is changing. This is why so many of you feel very enriched. You feel excited to go outside on a nice sunny day and just bask in the sun. That's all because your body is being transmuted as the light rays hit you. So it is going within your DNA. It is creating the aspect of metabolic transmutation. And you are learning more about the aspect of yourself. You are feeling this connection much more deeper with nature. You're connecting deeper with the trees. You're connecting deeper with each other. So because this is not just the idea of sunlight hitting you, this is the idea of nourishment. And it is nourishment of information as well. And so again, this helps to bring about great amounts of health benefits with you. So when you're looking into the idea that if we eliminate the pollutants upon your planet, and let's say, for example, the earth is completely pristine, completely clear, and when you are receiving this sunlight, you are being completely rejuvenated. It actually helps to heal illnesses. It helps to heal cancer. It helps to heal diabetes. This again is looking at a pristine earth connected together with this beautiful sun. So this will help you in many different ways. This also helps in regards to retrieving memory also. So light is one particular way as it relates to your own sun. There are also, quote-unquote, cosmic downloads that can happen as well. And we have referred to this as the light symbols, or as this content refers to as light circuitry, that can come within yourself. Again, sometimes it can happen through meditation. Sometimes it can happen through dream time. Sometimes it can happen throughout your day. And this, too, creates a transmutational effect. So when you are feeling these changes, sometimes it can represent excitement. Sometimes it can represent an increase in emotional satisfaction, in emotional benefit. This can also represent the idea of an increase in vitality as well, too. So when you're having these particular forms of transformations through your DNA and through light sequences, the effect you feel is often very enriching. You feel in that sense that you have a lot of energy. You feel happy. You feel excited. There is a beautiful essence that's flowing through you that says, I am feeling so wonderful today. I feel like I could run 10 miles. So your vitality boosts. Your emotions feel completely in order. You feel free. Your mental blocks feel like they have expanded or even dissolved. So on a physical, emotional, and mental level, it liberates you. It transforms you in that way when you get these particular forms of downloads. So when you're noticing your DNA changing, again, that effect is as previously stated. So the whole key here in that sense is that as you receive these particular symbols, or again, if you step outside and you're soaking up the sun rays, just be mindful about how you feel. You will feel very much at ease. Some of you may feel like you're having a massage by the sun. Or again, you're feeling this great aha moment, this great download that just, again, enriches you, inspires you. You feel completely at peace. And that's the idea of what these downloads, these light frequencies, these DNA transmutations feel like once you experience them. We thank you. Question number 2. Where do we go when we leave our bodies and transition past physical reality? As it relates to where you go, well, many of you will often go back into the astral plane. Now, when you go into the astral plane, it is very similar as if you were going off into the dream plane. Some of you, again, depending upon the individual in question, may be quite shocked that you're looking down at your body that is now deceased. And some of you may start to panic. You may start to, quote unquote, freak out because you don't know what's happened. You've all of a sudden woken up and now you see that your body is laying down there and it's not responding. It is deceased. Some of you can even detect what's known as the silver cord, or that the silver cord itself has been detached and that it is no longer connected together to the physical body. It's connected to the physical body, it is connected to the navel area. Connected to the astral body, it is connected to the tailbone or sacrum area in that way. So when the silver cord has been disconnected, then again, this is giving you the impression that the physical body has expired, it has deceased. So, what we often recommend to those who are on the verge of transitioning is to call upon your angels. Call upon your angels and have them collect you. When you are being collected, you are actually being taken beyond space, beyond time, beyond matter, beyond dimension. And you are moving past, we would say, the universal bubble. And you can look at it from way, way up. You're looking down at the bubble and saying, wow, I don't feel like I'm a part of that matrix anymore. No, you have returned to pure source. And so now returning to source, you can connect together with your angels. And again, you can decide exactly whatever it is you want to do afterwards. But for those who don't call upon these angels, may in that sense wander the astral realm, or they may in that sense visit some other spiritual communities. They may be visited by certain guides as well too. They may even meet family members after they have transitioned, and these family members are taking them to other spiritual communities. And these spiritual communities do exist within the density dynamic. But when your angels come and get you, you are basically being taken out of the dimensional density dynamic and looking above down at that particular, shall we say, game, that dynamic itself. So again, it all depends. It all depends on the person in question. Now, some people have asked about, well, Adronis, what about the white light? We hear a lot of people saying that don't go into the white light. Once you transition, there's a feeling that there's a white light there, and if you go into the white light, you will be recycled once again into the game of incarnation. Well, the white light in that sense, for those who are completely intuitive, basically know not to even do that. So it is fundamentally true that there can be deceptions here and there because you're still existing in the astral plane, and the astral plane is not, shall we say, devoid of any particular form of duality. It all depends upon the person. So we would say that there are even people who transition who don't even see a white light. They basically just see their angels coming to get them, or they see that their loved ones are there holding out their hand. You take their hand and you go off into another spiritual community, into another dimension. That can happen as well too. Yes, it is fundamentally true that there can be certain beings that have these technologies in the astral plane that can deceive you in that way. But again, it's all about the person in question. If that's something that is very much on their mind, then some people can see that white light, go into that white light, and actually go through the aspect of incarnation all over again. So that is what you would know as an illusion. That is what you would know in that sense as a particular, shall we say, bait and switch trap that people may get involved with, again, if they are not educating themselves enough. We would not really say it is a soul trap, however. We would basically state that it is much more in the idea of another portal system. A portal system that you go into that therefore helps you to reconnect and basically wipes clean your memory as you incarnate once again. So, again, not quite a soul trap, but more so in the idea of a bait and switch, shall we say, tactic that is used by controllers to basically, in that sense, control much of the population that's coming here. However, we would say that there may be quite a possibility in the times ahead that that particular form of agenda will end, and that there will not be any more, shall we say, falsities of going into the white light. So what we really recommend to everybody is that discover your loved ones, discover people who are close to you when you have transitioned, and again, ask your angels to come and retrieve you. As you do this, you will therefore be taken beyond this dimension. So again, some people go to spiritual communities, some people go to other worlds, some people may incarnate elsewhere, if again their karmic aspects allow. And again, some people may be pulled completely out of this dynamic of universe altogether and returning back into source consciousness. So it really all depends upon the person, their belief systems, their mentality, and the causes and conditions pertaining to their karmic energies altogether. We thank you. There's a lot of talk about hints of extraterrestrial disclosure and admitting that life may exist on distant planets. What is the next phase of this soft disclosure going to bring? The soft disclosure is all part of an agenda, all part of a plan that is very, very gently starting to introduce people to the aspect of life on other planets. Now, it will eventually come to the point where more of the exoplanets are going to admit that there is quite a very strong probability of life existing on more of these exoplanets than they realize. They may also start to connect to much more of the nature that is upon those worlds, to which they are able to see with these telescopes and saying, yes, there is water, yes, there is trees, yes, there looks like there's an abundance of wildlife, etc. So they will start off with the idea of letting you know that life exists on other planets. Now again, this is quite a very big benchmark for the collective of humanity. But eventually at that point, they may start to work together within your own star system relating to findings, discoveries upon other planets as well. They may also look into the idea of what you would know as ancient aliens. And they may also admit that there have been, quote unquote, ancient visitors that have once graced your planet for many, many, many thousands of years ago. And they may start to dwell upon that a little bit more as well, too. There may also be, in that sense, the aspect of microbial life or bacterial life. They may still want to play that card as well, too. So there are many possibilities, but we would say most likely it will be relating to the exoplanets. It will be relating to the idea of that life does indeed exist on these other exoplanets that may be many millions of miles away. And then again, they may start to look more into the nature upon those planets. And then again, focusing more upon your star system, or looking more into what you know as ancient astronauts and starting to slowly disclose that as well too, to where at some particular point there will be more of these increases of disclosure representing again visitors that may have in that sense had spacecraft here upon the Earth, or again upon the moon, or again within some of the neighboring celestial planets within your star system. So it will still be quite delicate for quite some time, but we would say that the trickling of disclosure is going to have a little bit more water here and there, especially as you move more into 2019, 2020, and 2021. We thank you.